So today I want to talk to you about how our belief system affects our realities. And you are just really not going to believe this. Some of you might know about this, and some of you are going to be like, what am I doing to myself? So you need to understand what you are doing to yourself. Good morning, Pat. So I thought this was a really good video to put up there so you can understand the power that we have. We have an amazing power, okay? So I'm going to talk to you about it, and I'm going to explain this to you both spiritually and scientifically. I want you to understand what is happening, okay, behind the scenes. You've got to get this, okay? So there was a time when spirituality was kind of over here and science was over here, all right? And our beliefs, the things that we believe to be true every day, the things that we talk about, those things that we report as our reality, they really affect our reality, those beliefs. And that has been proven both spiritually, scientifically, and physiologically, okay? And I want you to understand now the power that you have. And because you have this power, you also need to understand that you have a responsibility, okay? So we can choose. And this is very important, okay? So we can choose to create the versions of the life that we want to live. We actually have that power, all right? And knowing this, practicing this, understanding how it's going to happen, how you have this power, how to work with this power, this actually helps you to regain your power. Just the understanding of this, okay? Just understanding what's happening behind the scenes, all right? So by connecting to your inner reality and shifting it, you will no longer rely on the outside world to make you happy. This is how you find your happiness inside. So many of us look for our happiness outside of ourselves, that instant gratification, that piece of us that says, you know, I want this car, I want those boots, I want that house, I want all of those things, I want to dress nice, I want to look good, because these are outside instant gratification. We can mask how we really feel on the inside. All right? But I believe that 2019, well, it should have always been this way, but really I believe that 2019 is about change. So because of that change, we need to understand how we can make that change. So we have the power to manifest our desires, and it really is more than just law of attraction. So I'm going to talk to you about this as a whole cycle of what's happening, okay? So at one time, science believed that the world was objectively real, so that the world was here, like was outside of us and had nothing to do with us, okay? And that it exists regardless of our connection to it, okay? So that's actually not true, all right? The composition of the atom, this atom was researched. So everything is made of atoms, right? So the composition of this atom was researched. And inside this atom, they found electrons, something called electrons, and they also found something called quarks, okay? So now we actually have the means to go even deeper, to break into that electron, to see what's inside those quarks. And what they found in there was pure energy, okay? So since everything is made up of atoms, that means that everything is pure energy. Everything, whether it's a rock, a table, a wall, you, me, your dog, it doesn't matter. This computer, all right? Everything is made of pure energy. We all share that in common, all right? So this was found out through quantum physics because science couldn't really get around what was happening, all right? So quantum physics states that everything in life is connected. They call it the grand unified field. So when I talk about, if you've seen my other videos, that everything is one thing, this is because the whole universe is connected, and everything in it, it's all connected. We're all fingers off the same hand, all right? So you need to think about it that way, fingers off the same hand. Doesn't matter if you're a tomato or whether you're a person, Okay, so we're all fingers off the same hand. So pure energy is not physically measurable, but this energy has its own intelligence. Okay, energy, well, I mean, it made us. Okay, so energy responds in a non-physical and a non-common sense way. So what we think is common sense is not really common sense to energy. It works in a way different way than we work. Okay, so there's a book that talks about this, and there's a book called The Science of Peace and the Power of Prayer. All right, so that might be a book that you want to read. Everything has the commonality and the pure identical energy. Everything. So let's just understand that. So everything has the commonality of pure identical energy. We all share it. I don't care if you're an alien in another galaxy with 2 stars, we still all share that same commonality of energy. All right. This energy is also known as consciousness, and some of us, we call this God, or God consciousness, Allah, whatever you want to call it. All right. So because it's the whole universe and this whole structure, and it's one thing, nobody owns God. Okay, as it says in certain religions, you know, God is mine, we have Allah, we have this, we have that. It is the same God. Okay, it is the same energy. There is no difference. It's only our perception of what we think that is, but scientifically it's already been proven that it is not. Okay, so it is one thing. All right, so everything you read in these books and stuff about religions, and this is this, and that's mine, and this is my God, and that's your God, and yeah, no, okay, it's the same thing. All right, so God is everywhere, which means that God is inside every single one of our atoms. You want to call it God, you want to call it source, you want to call it the universe, you want to call it Bob, it doesn't really matter, but it's inside every single atom of us. So God runs through us and is all around us and is in every single thing. All right, everything, whether you are here or whether you are 50 galaxies away from here, we all have this same commonality. So nobody owns God. Okay, it is impossible for this energy to not exist. It is not possible for the universe to not exist. Okay, when people say to me that they don't believe in energy, my response is go look in the mirror. Go look at everything around you. Just open your eyes, okay? Because it is in everything. So for anyone at this point in 2019 to say to me that energy doesn't exist, I am going to say to you, get educated, okay? Get educated, because it does so, all right? Like, without it, we wouldn't be here. All right. Without it, nothing would be here. So yes, it does exist. All right. So it's infinite, and it existed forever before us, and it will exist forever after us. Okay. So it goes on and on. There is no beginning. There is no end. It just goes on and on and on, and it is infinite. Okay. So once again, nobody owns God. Okay. It is indestructible and indestructible. So we can't destroy it, but we also can't create it. But it can be manipulated and changed. That can happen. And I don't mean just the way that energy interacts with us. That can be manipulated and changed, okay? So all energy is linked. And as I said, it's known as the grand unified field. Every aspect of our energy affects the energy in our surroundings. So this is something that I tell my clients all the time. So if you make change in your energy, everything around you will change. It's just what happens, okay? And you're going to understand why as we move further into this, okay? So when you change your way of being, everything around you changes. It's a fact, all right? We each have our own separate consciousness that is unique to us, but it is also linked to the collective consciousness of the entire universe, okay? So what I'm gonna say to you is here, drop your ego, because there is more going on in this universe than this planet, okay? And the collective consciousness is part of every living everything that has consciousness is part of this collective, okay? It is part of the collective. We are connected to everything, and everything is connected to us. And that's why when we make change, everything changes, okay? So everything is connected to us, and we are connected to everything. Fingers off the same hand, okay? We shape our life through our thoughts and belief system, and in the most cases, we don't realize that we are doing this, okay? So we shape our lives by what we believe. And those beliefs go into our subconscious, because our subconscious that's in our brain, our subconscious records every single thing that we see, that we think, that we feel, that we smelt, that we tasted. It is everything, okay? And because it is everything, it records everything. Every single thing that we believe is like a program playing in our super server computer, okay? So if that program's playing, watch what happens next, okay? And those programs could have been playing for, you know, tens and decades for some of us. You know, we might have put beliefs in there when we were kids, and they're still playing, okay? Because we never changed them, all right? And this is what happens when we don't change the beliefs. So our beliefs and thoughts draw from a multitude of possibilities in our existence. So out there, our universe is like a hologram, and there's all these different options and choices and futures and ways of things that can happen. So our beliefs will choose which pathway we are going to take, okay? Which future is going to be ours, all right? Consciousness creates reality. It is important to understand the power that we have, all right? So I'm going to keep driving this home. It is very important to understand the power that we have. Our consciousness is creating everything we experience in our life. Everything. Okay, so our unique consciousness is creating everything that we experience in our lives. Our thoughts relate to our belief system, and those beliefs are recorded in our subconscious, like I said, and they're just playing over and over and over. So to change our consciousness, we have to change our belief system. Okay? In order to change our consciousness, we need to change our belief system, but it's not like the snap of a finger, because you've been playing those beliefs over and over and over for a very, very long time, okay? So somebody might say, oh, I'm always like this, or I'm always like that. So because you keep playing that program over and over and over again, your consciousness is creating your reality, okay? So life is not random. Changing our beliefs changes the personal world. So life just doesn't happen, okay? It's based on the choices that we make, the intentions that we put out there, the beliefs that we have, all right? The thoughts, all of that, okay, creates our reality. Life is just not happening. You are not on a runaway train, okay? Just watching your life, okay? We act like that. We act like we have no control, but we actually have all the control. And you even being on that runaway train were choices that you made, okay? You did that to yourself. So choices that you made, all right? We can change our experiences through our beliefs. If you believe an experience, like a family, we're gonna visit a family and it's gonna be horrible. Every time I visit them, it's awful, right? It's always so stressful, it sucks, right? Or, oh my God, I've got to go back to work. It's always so stressful. My boss is an ass. Like, so, you know, whatever it is that you might say, you know, a fight with your partner, right? I'm going to go home tonight. He's just going to ride me and ride me. Like, he's just going to drive me crazy about this one thing, right? So whatever you put out there, guess what's going to happen? You're going to walk in and have a fight with your partner. You are going to have a horrible family visit. Okay? You are going to have an awful day at work, and your boss is going to be an ass. So that is just what happens, because our intention is there. Our belief is there. We have planted that thought, and therefore, guess what? We have the power. We just created our reality. Okay? So we are creating our world. These things are just not happening. Okay? So what if you choose to change your thoughts about a scenario? So setting a positive intent in your mind and imagine that it's the best and what it's going to look like. So not only are we going to say, I'm going to go to work today and my boss is going to be like, he's going to be in a really great mood today. It's going to be so different than any other day. I'm going to take him a coffee and things are going to be great. And I'm going to walk in with a smile on my face and I'm going to ask him what he needs. And you're imagining this. You're seeing this in your mind, right? You're putting out that intent. And chances are pretty damn good that that is what's going to happen. Now, understand that other people are also putting their intent out there as well. So it's not like just you have all the power, right? So wouldn't that be nice? But you know, we all have this power. So it's not just about what we want. There's other people out there too. So our intention is vital. It is vital. What we intend to happen is vital. Okay. So big underline, highlight, it is vital. Okay. Showing consciousness our intention through our imagination is what nails it. And throwing some emotion behind it also gives it a punch, right? So all of these things matter. Your intention, your imagination. People say, I don't have an imagination. Yeah, you do. You might not use it the same way you did when you were a child. You might not sit there and play house and pretend, you're talking to your imaginary friends. But as an adult, you are still using your imagination. Are you not planning things? Are you not talking about how things are going to lay out, making assumptions? This is going to happen, that's going to happen. It's all using your imagination, okay? Your intention and your imagination, right? So, and you put emotion behind it as well. So all of that, you are using the tools. You are just probably using them in a very backwards, not very beneficial way to yourself. And still, I haven't told you what's happening yet, okay? So you can change an event simply by the way that you think about it. This is a simple truth, and it's not magic. It's not like poof, magic. It just is, okay? It just is. Just like this air is here, and I'm breathing it in. It's not magic. It just is, okay? So your energy is connected to everything, including other people's consciousness. So your intent has more power than you think. So if your intention is that your boss is going to be in a great mood, toward you at least, if he's going to be an intention, just putting that intention out there, just imagining what that looks like, just putting all those thoughts into that are highly likely going to happen. Maybe not the first time, but maybe the second time, or maybe the third time. It is going to happen, but you have to keep putting it out there, okay? So it's time to change your intentions and your beliefs. So let's look at this in a very simple context. You control your day. So you can decide whether today is going to suck and be a really bad day, or whether today is going to be a great day. And let's say you woke up and you kind of woke up and you had a bad dream or whatever, and you're kind of in a mood. You can choose to stay like that, okay? And just let that mood carry out throughout your whole day. Or you can throw your shoulders back, you can smile, you can stand up straight, and you'd be like, whatever, I'm in a good mood, right? So our state of being has everything to do, our physiology has everything to do with also how we feel. If you walk around and you're like this, you're gonna feel like that, right? So, but if you try to be in a bad mood with your shoulders thrown back, smiling, right? Feeling good about life, you can't. It's not even possible, okay? So if your life is full of bad situations, it's because of your belief system, your thoughts, and your intentions.